Here's a quick update on the cinematic panel, where it's at. Still a couple of minor things I need to work on, but it's a bit of a look at where we're at with it so far. So there's a lot going on the screen here, essentially from top to bottom. The top is durations for each of the axes for the cameras. Then down here you have each of the pan selections for each of the presets. And then slightly above that, you have free look for use in on foot and vehicle mode, update and on command, which will change between on command and real time, switch between key and joystick input for panning, and then where to select a new panning preset to save. Then right down the bottom here is a reset, which will reset you back to essentially this default camera that it's on now, and then a random button which will cycle through anything that's active up here randomly between 10 and 20 seconds. So to use it, as you can see, when I do things with the sliders at the moment, nothing's happening. It's because it's set to on command, so nothing will happen until I hit update. So if I put a bit of down pan and a bit of right pan, then hit update, you notice it'll pan down and to the right. The durations are set to 0, which is indefinite, so we'll just keep trying to do this indefinitely. Hitting reset will set it back to default and go back there. To save, all of these have preset camera angles already. To save them, so let's say I adjust this one, camera 6, which is just below the ship. Flight. You change to this. If I now push and hold, it'll flash green. When it flashes green, that will mean it's saved. So you can save the presets. Same for all of the other controls. You can set a duration. So if I set a duration here, let's say 5 seconds on the slow downward panning or orbit, then I hit update, it will now only orbit for 5 seconds and then it will stop. And then you can set the durations for any of those to create a specific preset. If we change it to real time, notice now as soon as I make any actions, it will start doing this in real time. You've got 6 buttons over here, which are just like any of the other normal buttons from the other screens that you can make to do whatever. I've just got one set to start recording for an NVIDIA broadcast. Now if I want to create a preset, I've already created a few and just added to the bottom. If I want to make another one, let's say I want to do, where do we pick a camera? Camera 7. Alright. First thing you want to do to make it easy is add it to continuous. So you'll notice you got all the presets here. None, which will stop panning and set it to the camera, and then continuous, which will continue to do the panning when you change your camera. So if I have another preset that has a continuous pan, I can change the cameras down here. If it's on continuous, it will continue to do that. So if I make a bit of, let's go, set this to real time so we can see what's happening. Let's go rotation around that way. Dolly out a little bit at the same time. Sure, we'll leave all that on infinite for now. Maybe a bit less of that. I can push it again just to see while that's still going what that looks like. So you can just keep going back to the camera and see what the pan's like to adjust it. And then when you're happy and you've got it set over to the pan that you want to save, I just saved it as number 5. So now if I change that to number 5, when I hit this camera, it will do that and recall the pan that we saved. Cam 5, you see it's set to continuous, so if I push that, it will change the camera to that setting and continue the pan that I'd saved or that was currently running on pan 5. And reset will stop everything and set it back to there. If you go to a camera with none, that'll all reset but go to that camera. So again, if we go to this one with a continuous pan and then we hit camera 6, it will stop the panning and just go to that camera. So there's slots for 9 different panning presets that you can save, and obviously the 9 cameras that Star Citizen has. So these can be different for each of your flight and on foot and vehicles. So we go through now just some of the presets that I've saved. Pan 1, 2. So these ones will have durations. So this one will pan down a little bit, and then it will indefinitely pan around the ship once it gets to a certain point. I hit 5, which is continuous and not its own panning preset. It'll change to that, and then just continue that slow pan that was still happening from preset 3. Reset. In the joystick mode, it works much the same way. So if I set it to in real time, the joystick acts like a panning camera. So you can use the joystick input if you want instead of like key inputs. You get a bit more granular control with the actual joystick panning. And again, you can still save that as a preset. So it's preset 6, save that. Let's go to cam 8, which is none. We'll assign preset 6 to cam 8. And you can see that's just using the preset that we saved from the actual joystick. So you can mix and match between. Now with any of these, you still have access. This is flight with joystick and HOTAS essentially. So you've still got all your axes while the panning is occurring. Change, still keep flying. Same, keyboard and mouse, now using keyboard and mouse to do flight. All of the camera presets still work in flight. And what you can do when you hit random, and like I said, it will randomly go through anything that's active between 10 and 15 seconds and then swap to another one. So if you're in quantum mode, you can hit the random and then continually swap between different cam presets at an interval randomly between 10 and 20 seconds. And then you will continue to do that until you hit random again, and that will stop it.